business, people ask you questions. And every time people ask you questions, you learn the answer. And that's how all of us learn this business, even us in corporate. It's hard to come in and do like a crash course and learn everything in a month or 2 months. You learn as you go. The best way to learn the comp plan, obviously, is by earning commissions. Where'd that come from? You know, where'd that 15, where'd that 25, where'd that $50 come from? Oh, I get it. It's a wonderful way. It was a base commission. It was 15% or whatever. But we're talking about going global. So I think you should learn basically basic products as well, especially the product that is in that market. And in all of our 50 markets, we have Tahitian noni juice, that's for sure. Most of the markets in Asia Pacific are right now running off the Mirinda license so even Greater China, we have a license, which is extremely rare. Very few network marketing companies have a license in mainland China. It makes a huge difference. Our ability to advertise, to legally do meetings. And we even have a manufacturing plant in China where we make our Tahitian noni and we make a few other products as well. Does that mean anything to you today? I don't know, might not, but you don't know who, as you taproot down through your organization, has a friend who once did, this amazing company in China, and they're so excited that we have a license there. So compliance and legalities, and this goes back to Fred building in the Philippines, I'm sure, it takes quite an investment to go to a market that we are not in right now, because PartnerCo is new. We're not really looking to open a new market. We're looking to make sure the markets that we have function properly and the people are taken care of. We really appreciate the leaders for staying with us and being loyal. But if you ship products across borders, even if you go to the post office, they're going to ask you, and what's in your package? If you put vitamins, highly unlikely that's going to cross a border. Also, if it's too expensive. So every country around the world has what they call a de minimis, which means including the taxes and the shipping and the cost of the product, whether that package ships in. So if you're just shipping a Renew to India, for example, and you put down that it's some sort of product and it costs like $50, it'll probably get there. It'll take 2 to 3 weeks and you can time it. But if you were to ship an entire ultimate package, it's probably going to get stuck at the border, and your friend who you shipped it to, who bought it maybe, is going to get a phone call from customs and they want him to pay $250, $300 in order to clear it through customs. And he probably doesn't want to do that. So there's a lot to know. Stay with small little packages that you're shipping just to get someone started. Like maybe they really want the drops and they saw your social media. If you can ship a box out, great. But just be 10 pack, probably not a good idea at this point if it's going international. You do want to create a marketing plan, and you do need to support your global business if you're working in a country where we are already doing business. Korea would be a great example. So Korea, we have an office, we have a general manager, we have teams, we have a new team that's growing. And I know that some of you on this call are very interested in building in Korea, and I'm very interested in you building in Korea as well. But our general manager will help with meetings. They will help meet your people. They will help. But the support from your team probably needs to come from you, and that will require translation in Korean. You can use the same support tools you're using in the United States. Just be aware of the different products that we're working with in Korea. And we are working on a lot of countries on trying to get NFR in there. It's just taking a while because we have some very big programming projects that we're working on for Japan, and that sort of trumps everything else we're doing in the world. All good, because everybody here in the world of network marketing, one of the key indicators if your company is successful or not is how well are you doing in Japan? Well, PartnerCo is doing extraordinarily well in Japan. So, build a strong team, recruiting and training a diverse team of brand partners in different countries who are motivated and dedicated to join their business. It's kind of like having diversified stocks. So the Canadians, I know that some of the ones in Quebec have huge teams in France that started off through Connect. Some of them didn't even know them. They just started a conversation on social media and got this downline. One of their team turned up in our Thailand incentive. So that was kind of fun. So I do think diversification is important, but I think first of all, your own backyard. You get to do your presentations, you get to learn what works, what doesn't work, you get to talk about the comp plan. I want you to feel confident. I don't want you to like, uh-oh, what happened? I don't know. I want you to feel like I got this. I can do this. The support, find out ongoing support and training. So Korea, we actually have ongoing meetings. We have director training. We have that going on in Indonesia as well. In Singapore, we are launching Vinali today. We have an office there. So find out what's going on locally. And I'm happy, if somebody reaches out to ask me a question, I know most of the answers now in Asia Pacific. And we can help you, or Todd can just send me a text or something like that, and I can answer that. But you can plug into whatever we have going on there, and that will help you. You want to gradually expand into international markets. It's the culture, it's the business norms. Some of you are married to either husbands or wives from Mexico or from Latin America, or, some of you have cousins in different countries as well. I love the Partnerco is extraordinarily culturally sensitive to people around the world. Like if we're marketing in South Africa or if we're in Mexico, we listen to the GM, we follow the GM's suggestions. The events are very much in that local language. So we want to continue to be that way. You do need to stay committed and persistent. Building an international team, you can ask Fred, he can give testimonial, takes time and effort and persistence, because you've got people in a country who have no general manager, no office, no nothing. You're shipping them perhaps a product once a month just to get them to sample it, or they might be having a wonderful experience with it. And it might not be 2025, it might be 2026. Yes, we want to get there, and it's progress for the company. But like I said, first of all, we have to take care of our existing countries, make sure we're fully stocked with product and we don't run out. We're already registering new products. And I call most of the APAC countries pre-launch. I don't say we've launched Partnerco. Just because we came out with a name a year ago doesn't mean we're ready to go to the world and say, you can sign up and build a massive business tomorrow. I like the pre-launch, which means there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to get in. There's an opportunity to position people properly. We can get them sufficient product that they can meet their monthly order, and they can be part when we're ready to explode, we're ready to include them. And I think it's important to always remember all growth starts with just one person. I've been in this industry just like Todd and many of you on this call to know it just takes that one person. So Todd mentioned the Spanish market. So I'm super excited. I'm off to Guadalajara. I lived in Spain 11 years, so I do speak Spanish. I was actually a distributor for another company in Spain, like way back in 1987. So I know that in the United States, it's really important that we can work across the border. And many of the people here love working with their family in Latin America. Mexico is huge and it's growing. It's got a manager. Carlos is phenomenal. They have many of the products. The drops are in Mexico, the day and night drops. They've got many of the other products as well. So it's at the Hard Rock, Guadalajara. You can see it's the 13th and the 14th of April. If somebody has a leader, they would be interested in talking. I can speak Spanish. So, or we can get Carlos on as well. So I'm just sharing this because you never know, could show up at your meetings tomorrow or this weekend. So let's get them together. If they have family in Guadalajara who'd like to go, I'm sure there's still room available at this awesome event, and Cameron will be there as well. So Carlos, myself, and Cameron will be there, as well as some amazing leaders from Mexico. Asia Pacific, currently we are in Australia, New Zealand. They also have the Slendrix drops, and they have many of the other products. So they're a little bit more advanced than some of the other Asia Pacific countries. Japan has all the products. Hong Kong has all the products. Taiwan does, and China has most of the products as well. Japan, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan are big countries for Partnerco. Australia is a medium-sized country, and then what's up and coming is Indonesia. We have an office, we have a general manager. We mostly do Tahitian Nonis and Max. Korea, we have some of the optimals, but mostly we do Tahitian noni, and we're working on very diligently on how we can get the day and night drops. And the reason it's day and night drops is the formula that we have for the United States is not acceptable in many of the countries. So we have to go with the day and night drops, but they're very successful in Europe and they're very successful in Australia. So we're very confident that'll be a good alternative choice. Malaysia, we have a warehouse that delivers products. It's just Tahitian noni juice. Singapore, we have some of the optimals, and we sell probably 50% is Tahitian noni, and then the optimals are the other 30%. Thailand, we just have Tahitian noni, and Vietnam, we have Tahitian noni and we have Max. I think we just got the Skincerity into Thailand as well. So that's where we're at with there. Oops, I'm going the wrong way, I guess. This is just, I just came back from an incentive trip, and this is all of 5 countries coming together. These are just the leaders. They earned it. This is Vietnam at a meeting. And my purpose here is if you're going to pose for a picture, always have a product in your hand or the purity. This is James Zhang, who you all know. He's the chairman, and he flew to Australia for the Connect event that we had there. And John Wadsworth came as well. And he has this little Spider-Man bike because one of the activities was a team building where we donated 16 bicycles to children who just can't get to school, and they can ride these bikes to school. So who knew that that Spider-Man bike would get him so many posts on social media? And then these are most of the brand partners in Australia are women. And this was just a picture that we took for one of their events. We do webinars that go across the entire region, and Barbara's done, this is the second one I'm doing with Barbara, and then we'll get Dr. Strand on. So these goes out monthly, and we have full translation. That means if somebody is listening to this call and they speak Indonesian or they speak Chinese or they speak Korean, they can click on the bottom of the webinar and they can listen to it in their language, and we make sure we get really good translation because that's part of it. So that's my update on global in a nutshell. It all starts with one person. You might not have that person yet, but they're out there. And that's how it started in all the big companies. It started in the company that I came from, did 1.4 billion. And the people who are already building internationally, they are the ones that helped probably import the Tahitian noni originally that started that country. So I know that probably everybody has many questions. I hope this was just a very high view, but I guess my biggest takeaway is be very happy where you're at right now. It starts in your own backyard. Develop that. That's where you get the most confident. That's where you can support the people who are closer. And it's really fun meeting up with people in person. This is why tomorrow, when I saw that there's a meeting an hour and a half away, and I do have to thank Diane Odom for just reaching out and say, hey, are you going? And then I was talking to Fred, and I thought, hey, I'll call Todd. You know, I said, if there's a meeting that's an hour and a half away, it is so worth jumping in the car and going there, or riding a spider bicycle or tricycle or whatever it was James was on, because it's all about the people. It's all about connecting. And the more we connect, not only the healthier your business, but the healthier people are. You can Google how important is it to connect when you get off this call, and you'll go, wow, now we see why they call it Connect events. So anyway, thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Lucy. And listen, I know everybody out there has a lot of questions. Lucy, if you don't mind looking at your calendar and giving us a time that we could do strictly a Spanish get together where you and Carlos and the Latin America people could give us all instructions, because I'm getting questions all the time, almost daily now, on South America and Mexico. And then also the same thing with Asia. If we could get, is it Irgo? What's the new general manager's name?
Well, Yuru is over Greater China. So he right now has China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. So that's where he has, and I've got Australia and the other ones. And Yuru's also got Japan, because Yuru speaks fluent Japanese. He's amazing.
So we could do it the full 30 minutes on a morning time. That might be the best time to get everybody together. So if you would just look over the next couple of weeks and give us 2 different days, one strictly for Latin America, where we can have everybody here that needs to understand that and have the ability for some of them to ask questions. And then we'll do a completely separate one for the Asian markets and let everybody come and ask questions because it'll be, no, I know it'll be very different.
I'll get with Carlos, and then we'll have, we do have a laundry in the office who helps support a lot of people as well. And she speaks Spanish for here for the United States. You know, we actually do quite a little bit of volume when people sign up and they check the Spanish button here in the United States, but they're just spread out all over the place. And I think Dr. Crystal has quite a few people in her organization too. So we just need to bring everybody together. So thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Lucy.
Awesome. Awesome information.